Alright everyone, it's time for another memetic video because this is actually a really great idea. This was apparently first posted on 4chan and I'm like, this is actually a brilliant idea. This should definitely be something clankers get involved in. Since 4chan calls for aid, so, you know, we must answer. The idea is this. You know how Facebook is rebranding itself to Meta, which really should have been Beta because it would represent the remaining user base a lot more. And it's just... It's horseshit. Zuckerberg can't get it right. Clearly it's not going to work, the rebranding. I mean, Congress is still breathing down his neck, for Christ's sake. People are ridiculing it and joking about it, so everyone's talking about Meta. Mostly negatively, but they're talking about it at least, which is one silver lining in a very, very dark crowd as far as the branding experience that his new company firm, whatever you want to call it, is having. It's time for another little bit of meme war. It's time for another meme battle. The idea is to associate Meta, which is being searched by a lot of people, with make everything Trump again. To usurp, to hijack that term for memetic purposes. So get your hashtags ready. Doesn't matter what platform you're using it on. And a lot of you also organize with smaller groups of people, which tend to be more closely knit, which is helpful. In places like Discord, Reddit, whatever, take it there, pop it on 4chan, get your hashes going on sites that actually do that shit. Make a video, or like this one, regardless, because the idea is not that many people are actually required cross-platform to organize in order to get something trending. And then, at some point, the legacy media has to talk about it, and all those right-wing sickos are trying to use Zuckerberg's his new tech empire to attack Joe Biden. Well, and what happened with Let's Go Brandon? This initially what was a base meme, which is, an NBC reporter covering for Joe Biden's apparently poop-covered asshole, became a huge phenomenon. Pretty much... people at sports events all around the fucking world, not even just in the United States, are now chanting, let's go Brandon, or just fuck Joe Biden, the former of which actually works better because it's not censored, although they did try to take the Let's Go Brandon song has been downed on TikTok. Did you realize that? It was being complained about by the artist. It's funny, Apple allowing TikTok, supposedly China is based and a repository of political freedom for Westerners who want to talk about the establishment, but no, not Let's Go Brandon. That's not allowed. Yeah, based my ass. This is a great idea. This is how meme war functions. This is how propaganda functions. When we talk about meme wars, that's like the facade, that's like the cartoon frog funny, and it is hilarious side of what really is just modern day grassroots propaganda that we're conducting. It's a psyop. Isn't that wonderful? It's just like people have gotten involved in doing the same thing with stonks. You know how the big movers and shakers within the fiscal world are constantly manipulating the value of stocks and bonds and all these other things and derivatives and interest rates and inflation because they have a lot of money. Well, people started pooling their money together and fucked a hedge fund over, you'll remember, with GameStop. Remember, they were trying to mass short the stock out of existence in order to pay off creditors and make huge amounts of money in write-offs by basically vampirizing the value of GameStop. A group of people got together, bought up a bunch of GameStop, and the price soared, causing the hedge fund to effectively go temporarily bankrupt. How is that different from what we're doing here, hijacking hashtags? By the way, leftoids do algorithmic hijacking all the time. The breadliners, how do you think that they first made their meager appearance? By hijacking and talking about things that were simply trending at the time. This is another reason my channel languishes a little bit. I'm on a different time zone from the U.S. public, so it's a little bit more difficult when you mainly pay attention to the U.S. and Canadian news cycle. With Meta, I think this is a grand opportunity. It's died down a little bit, people talking about it, but you can definitely take that basic acronym, META, it's all it is, and you can make it trend again with a totally new meaning, and people will be confused at first. Confusing things can be quite interesting. The bizarre is something that people look deeper into because they're like, what the fuck is this? This is Zuckerberg's new company. What's this Trump shit about? Let me Google that. And then, of course, Google will quickly, shoo aside any mention of this on its search results. But there are a bunch of other browsers and a bunch of other websites that people use that don't do the algorithmic distortion thing. More and more people are abandoning the use of as many Google products as they can at this point simply because the algorithms have become so useless. It's like Google search, it hides things constantly. Bing also does the same thing. Try searching Tiananmen Square on Bing and notice what's missing. Who do you think told them to do that? This will, by the way, play a role in my debate with Nick Fuentes, I'm sure. Anyway, I like the idea. The meme battles continue. The second meme war has begun, by the way, and it begun a little bit early, actually. I mean, it was still more than a year out from the midterms, and we're already pounding Biden, Poopy Britches Biden, Backturner Biden, Brandon, whatever you want to call him, because there's like a fucking million memes about the dude, and he's boring. Just imagine if Trump, someone that were actually exciting, was actually still in that office as opposed to boring Biden. How funny the memes would be then. And how much better the economy would be. And how much less cucking before Russia elements of our U.S. government, so-called globalistic government U.S. branch, would be doing. That's about all. Peace out.